So right now, I'm gonna make the most handsome designer feel guilty. And he knows why. T'étais où avec quand j'ai interviewé Jason?
J'étais allé te voir, t'étais avec Carl.
Ah, okay. So he has an excuse. He has an excuse. So that's fine. You pass. You pass.
I think Jason he slipped and abandoned you.
It was funny, man. It was funny.
Okay. No, because I was standing by and.
Sorry you missed it, man. I actually missed you. You should have.
I had my moment of glory.
I'll see you later, Mark. This is the Combat Commander Tournament. There's Dominic. Uh-oh. There's a command in colors happening here. And La Grande Bataille. So this we're at the bottom floor here. There are 2 rooms. Oh, more combat commanders. The tournament's still happening. Hi. Then we have Stan here. He's combat commander, the massacreist, we call him. The destroyer of worlds. And actually, Stan is the guy, this gentleman right here, is the guy who brought Combat Commander to WBC. And I hear really good things about it, and what's really good about it is that he's a Quebecer, a Polish Quebecer, and he brought his cronies along, and they just beat the shit out of all the Americans, and that's just wonderful. That's just wonderful. I mean, this is serious, man. These guys ain't messing around. And here we have gentlemen, what game are we playing? Dune.
5 swords.
C'est-tu crosseur, ce jeu-là? So no one's answering me. I must speak another language. They're into their games. I must leave them alone. And there's this guy over here. A very unassuming man. Unassuming man. But a giant amongst giants. Yes, he looks like he should play in a heavy metal band, and he probably does. But we're going to interview this guy, and you'll see. You'll be surprised at the things that come out of his mouth. And here we have fire in the lake, for God's sake, man. Yeah, just I get a hangover every time I look at this game. But this wasn't even the game we played. It was the expansion. So that's it for downstairs. And we're going to go upstairs and check stuff out. Welcome to No Enemies Here, the show where I'm checking for my sound and it's perfect! Perfect, I say. Yes, I like this day today. It's one of those sunny but cool days when you're inside the house, because when you're outside the house, I sweat, I don't like it. So, we got We got a show today. All of the guys are in except Kilroy and Ricardo Mazzini was last week. Everybody was in except Kilroy. You hear me? That guy, Kilroy, he emails me, tells me, what's the matter with you? Why don't you feature my channel? Bah! I'm waiting for your report, and it's the last time, and you're supposed to send it, and you don't, and I got time constraints. What's the matter with you? I swear to God. Anyways. Oh, man. I was supposed to do the chit show right Tuesday night. So at 6 o'clock, I get a text and it says, hey, the Morels are out. Get them now or wait till next year. Man, did I get them. I'm going to see if I can upload some photos and put them up as I'm talking here. If not, well, you'll just have to imagine what a morel looks like. It's a mushroom and it looks like an elongated brain with a leg. That's great. You know that? Well, hey, I hope Timmy of Harebrained Games is doing well. He hasn't posted in a while. He's going through some difficult times, you know, and I hope he's doing well. Also, I'm gonna keep putting up stack interviews. I have another one with Jean-François Tremblay. This one here is with Dominique Lauzon. He's a paysan too. Okay? Paysan. He's got some Italian blood in him. Alright, look, with that said, let me get on with the show so you can have fun and stop hearing me babble.
Here at Noble Knight Games, we've been carefully growing the world's largest selection of tabletop games going on 25 years now. From fresh-picked new releases to finely aged vintage classics and hard-to-find imports, you can buy, sell, trade, and play with us at our store in Fitchburg, Wisconsin. Or shop online 24/7 from anywhere in the world, just like nature intended. Growing fresh daily at Noble Knight Games.
And I'm sure you don't see them, but as soon as you make your eye, like over here, over here, there, now your eye is made. Look at that. Look at all of that. That's what we call a hell of a supper.
Wow.
So leave them. Let's get on with the crux of the show. It's going to be that kind of a show. Put in your head, there's going to be mushroom. It's mushroom themed. And maybe even next week it's going to be mushroom themed. Ah, what do you want? You don't want me to smoke a pipe? I don't smoke a pipe. But mushrooms, I got to do it. Anyways, here we go. The man who looks like a vampire, Mark Felton of Mark Felton Productions, has 2 videos. The Churchill-Eisenhower 1944 shoot-off. Plus, Hermann Goering's train still exists. My favorite Frenchie Freddy, Fred Serval, has 1 video and it's called Splatterspellen and History. Indonesia reprint, a discussion with Joris Virsinga. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. And I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I mean, I always wanted to be a butcher when I was young. Look at me today. Pushing Cardboard, 2 videos. Louis Bourg, 1758, an unboxing, plus Prelude to Vicksburg, an unboxing on Pushing Cardboard. Tabletop Minions, 2 videos. Expensive hobby tools that aren't worth it. Plus, new skirmish war games with potential on Tabletop Minion. The man famously known as Calandale, Enrico Viglino, has 4 videos, and it's Banish All Their Fears. Finally, he writes it down, I know what I'm saying. Blenheim 7 and Rap, and then he gives us a review of that, then he talks about his UFO story. And I think he starts with Down with the King. An intro on Calandale. Jan Heinemann of Let's Play History, 2 videos. I'm assuming one is in English, and it's Diplomatic Intrigue, number 2, Fields of Glory. And then there's the Plunderization of El Cid in Fields of Glory in the Kingdoms preview game on Let's Play History. For our Spanish viewers, Julius Fairfax gives us a shellacking's worth of videos. 4 videos, and it's 3 games that you don't know, but you should know. Plus, the Stygian Society, I don't know that, and Age of Mythology, plus Star Wars, The Queen's Gambit. He goes in detail. First he shows you the game, then he goes in detail. Because those are the games, 3 games that you don't know, and you should. History Hustle, 1 video, and it's everything, all the things you wanted to know, like Bolivia during World War II. What was Bolivia doing? Check it out on History Hustle. Done it.
For the 3rd Wednesday in May 2024, Seek Out and Play presents Raid on Saint Nazaire, optional rules for open locks and caissons. Raid on Saint Nazaire is an out-of-print game by Avalon Hill. The short video covers the optional rules for open locks and caissons that allow for the inner areas of the harbor to be attacked. The video is based on the optional rules found in the General magazine. For those who play Raid on Saint Nazaire, this provides additional challenges and opportunities to take advantage of attacking areas of the harbor that are now more vulnerable. Check out more videos on Avalon Hill Games when you visit the Seek Out and Play YouTube channel. Also, I have an X and Facebook page which delivers news about the channel, along with a monthly podcast that you can find on Spotify and BuzzFeed. And if you want to support my efforts in maintaining the channel, I have a Patreon page for monthly donations, or you can buy me a beer for a one-time donation. Check out more videos on the Seek Out and Play YouTube channel, and I will see you next Wednesday.
Donnie of Tony's Board Life has 2 videos of the same subject, and it's Mitch and Tony play ATS. Steel and Blood, Araños Block, Part 3. Steel and Blood on Tony's Board Life. That fantastic channel that is Indy Nidell's channel, World War II. Indy Nidell plus a hell of a lot of other people in the background. But hey, 4 videos, Liberation of the Nazi Camps. And Germany Surrenders. I'm telling you, it's the end. Plus, German-American Jews fight the Nazis. And Glory Days of the Kamikaze. Operation Kikusui. If I said that right. Kikusui. Whatever. World War II. Nanguaya, 3 videos going forward on many fronts, plus the minigame and the narrative. Keep on trucking. And Off the Can Games. I gotta find out where that is, Can Games. I think that's in Ottawa. Gotta check it out. Charlie Charles Ladora, 4 videos. Gettysburg, Worthington, through the 1100-hour turn. Buford has held so ... It says here. Then 15mm elves, orcs, hungry plants. And 15mm figures need to be on bases for Dragon Rampant. Plus, Gettysburg, Worthington, and a 12 p.m. turn. I don't know how he jumps from back to forth without getting all messed up. The Canadian channel, the great Canadian channel, Legendary Tactics, 4 videos. Autonacon, Peterborough Board Game Convention. You know what I'm saying? Plus, Matthias Kramer, board game designer, interview, and top 10 deduction games. And Dune Imperium, digital edition playthrough, full game. So watch the movie before, you know what I'm saying? ID Jester Kurt has 8 videos that I could fit on the page. And let's see them. 2 are on Status Pro Baseball. 1 is a live open the box for the People 25th Anniversary Edition. Could it be, Mark Herman? You should be proud. Then there's 2 new boxes arrived with new games. plays Dead Panic, four-handed solo playthrough. Then he does the Fall Classic Baseball Tampa Bay Ryan versus New York Yankees and the Fall Classics Tampa Bay Ryan versus New York Yankees box score April 17. All of this and more on ID Jester. Storm of Steel Wargaming 3 videos, a hobby update, Chain of Command Far East Handbook review. He does a flip through, plus a step-by-step guide to painting a tiger, if you're into painting. I thought I had to include all these things, because it's news, it's war, and it's my channel. You know what I'm saying? Artie of ARDWULF'S LAIR has 2 videos, and it's the Chit Show with Dan and Artie. And I'm Dan, the best place to wargame. I wasn't there. I was doing this. Well, we found a mother lode that was not mapped out. So, Chantal, show the mother lode. Now figure each one of those mushrooms are worth about $5 each. And we just started our journey. And so, let's pick. Woohoo! And counter clipping episode 172, the best of strategy and tactics part 2 on Artie's ARDWULF'S LAIR. Ruffy of Rough Swordsman Wargamer, and I'm sure is a great guitarist, though I never heard, because I just dropped a name like Bill Frisell, and it's like, hey, my dad played with Bill Frisell. This guy knows. Also, Ruffy, 2 videos. The War Room Live, are conventions great for wargaming? Plus, Open the Box GMTs for the people. 25th anniversary unboxing on Rough Swordsman Wargamer. Combat Board Games, looking at 2020 edition of Armor Attack by Colonel John Antal. Is this the best wargame book ever? On Combat Board Games.
This week on 6 Actual, we look at Aces of Valor from Legion Wargames. This is a solitaire squadron management game based on aerial combat in World War I. Fly and fight from either side of the conflict. World War I tactical aerial combat, only on 6 Actual.
6 Actual. Ray sent me a couple of, one pick with a couple of components from his game soon to be out. Who's it going to be, Ray? Who's the publisher? You probably told me, but I forgot. But the game is called Cactus Air Force, and things look like a nice game as they are. So, Ray, send me some more stuff. Let's hype this thing up. Come on, let's get this baby going. Once Upon a Game, banish all their fears, an unboxing. Check it out. This is a GMT game, and it's published by someone and Ben Hall. That's what I can tell you. Talking about music, Denver, the classical guitarist on Flying Pig Games, How to Play 85 Afghanistan, Graveyard of Empires, part number 1, an introduction. And here's the name of the game, How to Play Chancellorsville. Look at that. When you look at a map like that, a little bit above, but it's not too way above, it's not too close. It's a lot of land. World War II Solitaire board game channel is back with a vengeance. He's unboxing and doing a playthrough with Advanced Beaches of D-Day Dice Pocket. It's a fun game. Plus, Dutch Resistance, Orange shall overcome. Orange. It's like watching a hockey game when your team plays against each other and one is blue and one is orange. That's what I saw. I want. 3-minute board games, 2 videos. Sky Team. Also, Memoir 44. All this in 3 minutes on 3 Minutes Board Games. Advanced Squad Leader Academy has 3 videos, and it's Advanced Squad Leader Scouting Report 49, The Bit Tourist Day, and Advanced Squad Leader Multi-Man Publishing's Roundtable Discussion number 1, and Advanced Squad Leader Starter Kit Example number 3 on ASL, Advanced Squad Leader Academy. Agility Snips Gaming Table 2 videos. Actually, it's 1 video. It's Skies Above Britain Chapter 3 Patrol number 2. Andrew Chung 3 videos. Great War at Sea. It's 3 videos concerning the Great War at Sea, Jutland, and its strategic scenario demo on Andrew Chung. The Boss looking at you, and he's saying, I'm not done yet. But this guy's gonna outlive us all. You know what I'm saying? You know. Clark Commando 1983, The Boss. Dave of Dave's Gaming Cave, 1 video, and it's on Atlantic Sentinel setup, and February 1942. Eric's Table Napoleonic Battles, 3 videos. Bar Bataille of Colin, 1757, 5 p.m. Turn 1, I should say turn part 1. Then La Bataille Rules Workshop, Regs, 30 rules. A regular 30 rules. Plus Bar Battle of Colin, B-A-R. B-A-R. That's it. The Battle of the American Revolution. I just got it, man. 1757, 5 p.m. Turn Part 2. The Weedster, Doug Weed of Gamer's Closet, has 1 video, and it's Unboxing Trial by Trolley. Thank you, exclusive Kickstarter pack on Gamer's Closet. The Leonidas of ASL, George Hiotis, or I should say George Leonidas Hiotis Tikanis Leonidas. He's got 1 video. Love that flag. And then he says, Hollow Legions, where's the gabagool? George, manager. I don't know, George. Where's the gabagool? Did you look behind you? Huh? Thought he stole, George.
All right.
Så vi kommer igång, Ibo.
Snyggt. Kör.
So I have Dominic here. I hope this works well, Dominic. Actually, I don't have Dominic here. I have Dominic. Dominic. What's your last name? Lauzon. Lauzon. And why do I have Dominic here? Because Dominic is the guy who every single stack.
Yep. Since 2015-ish.
And you have, you're the Combat Commander Tournament guy, eh?
Yeah, that's what
all
I've been...
All the time?
Every Saturday of the long weekend for the conference, yeah.
And so, okay, this is obviously Chad Jensen's game. I mean, you taught me how to play the game. I still don't remember how to play, but anyways, because I play with Carl. But playing
with Carl?
I'm playing, yeah.
Okay. You had too many combat confusion in your hands, right?
Bloody hell, I thought I was the only one. Now, why Combat Commander?
Well, that's for me, this is possibly the best X-Encounter narrative experience that I've seen throughout all my wargaming experience. But plays short, it plays fast. You can play the same scenario 10 times over. It's never the same story. So you could use this over and over again and make tournaments and find a way to get people to play a very, very interesting war game in a short period of time.
Now,
can play
are you a
scenario.
soldier? Were you a soldier?
No, not at
So
all.
why would you say that? Because I've heard soldiers actually say that it's the closest. It's funny because it's a CDG game and it's the closest it comes to actual combat because of the fog of war, the indecisions.
There's a huge debate there because some people will say that ASL would be the actual reference game for replicating this.
Why wouldn't they say that then?
And Combat Commander, on the other hand, some people will find it too chaotic and say, I have a hand and I can't tell my troops to move and I don't have a move card, so how do you translate this into a realistic behavior or a combat situation in the field?
So how do you do that?
Well, how do you do that? My perspective on that, and when I started playing the game back in 2011, 2012, I fell onto an article, was it in BGG or Constant World or somewhere, that somebody referred to an article that was written after World War II, and they said that some postgraduate student had done a study over all orders that were given through the combat that they could actually accumulate from letters, from combat reports, from after action reports, that on average orders given by officers to their subordinates were followed to a ratio of on average 18%.
Seriously,
So
man.
throw in there green guys, noise from artillery, bombs, blasts, grenades, just the guys shitting in their pants.
So are you subtracting that from the 18% now,
No,
or is that the
that
18%?
accumulates to all the battling effects. I mean, they could scream the hardest they can in the field, but if you're in a trench, or if on the Pacific side, right, there's like the forest, there's humidity, there's bugs, there's whatever. So across all World War II combat, the average orders that were followed is 18%. So that game represents that to some extent, because you can try to scream to your troops, move, take position, advance, be careful, react to a situation. And I think for me that chaos adds narrative and fun to the game. It's a game after all, so we're playing it for fun. But it also is to some degree representative of that. But whereas ASL, you plan, you say you can move,
I see
fire,
what you're saying.
defense fire, don't defense fire, prep fire.
Obviously, you're going to get flack for this, but
Yeah, but I totally appreciate ASL for what it is, and it's a great game too. It's a great system.
what about the Italians in Combat Commander?
I've not played them a lot.
It's
but-
horrible. It's horrible.
People say the same thing with the French deck, right? The French deck and their capacity and their hand size or their discard limit of 1, or that's also very constraining. But these minor nations have a reduced ordering capability based on what Chad decided to make it representative of what.
And I'm wondering why he put them in. Why he would put a really, really weak nation like Italy.
Well, he builds a scenario around it as well to that extent. And if you look at most scenarios that includes Italians, you'll have special rules for the scenario that will either reduce the allies' abilities or change the terrain in favor, or
There's a compensation there.
Well, I think that the special rules are there to represent some maybe historical situations based on those scenarios, but some of those would also help balance out the fact that their deck is, a little bit weaker.
I know what's his face. He just passed Berg. In one of his games, he's got to get the Italian pasta rule there. You have to get water for pasta.
I've not come
I don't know.
across
I don't know about Chad Jensen. I'd never played the Italians, but I know they suck because I think it was you and Rami playing the first time I came here, if I'm not mistaken.
God, that was like the hill thing. Where
And
Rami
he was just like, I can't do anything. I can't do anything. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, Rami in the tournament game, I remember. I used that picture for this year's tournament where I have my hand like that because I'm on the hill. I don't recall if it was Hill 131 or one of those scenarios, but I was on the hill. I had was it a bunker or a pillbox? And he took his artillery and rolled exactly what he needed to blast it, right? So I lost my only secure position. I think he won that scenario, but maybe you're referring to a different one, but I don't recall.
I don't know. He was pretty...
It's like 2015-ish, right? So that was...
Hasn't been that long, eh?
Yeah, time flies.
Man, how many people are we expecting here? Because you're part organizer here.
For the combat tournament?
Yeah.
This year I had 12 registered players. One guy got sick, so I don't know if I'm going to get a replacement, but 12 is a good number to have.
So is Stan going to win it again?
Well, I never know where to put my money because I've got 4 of the top ladder, the ladder tournament online?
No.
So they're on a monthly basis. There's a ladder tournament that's ran by Patrick Pence.
Okay.
He records on YouTube every of his game through that ladder. He organizes that in a very masterful way. He's actually very organized and structured. We have, on average, 95 to 100 players monthly.
Seriously?
Yes, it's a huge one. It's
what's
been
the site called?
Years.
What's the site called?
It's on BGG, so it's on Board Game Geek.
Okay.
It's called the ladder tournament. The ladder is just a matter of how he actually accumulates points and you rank yourself across the other ones. And I've been on for 2.5 years now, or just over 2 years. And so the top leader games are most of the top 5 are here. Larry Sisson, Alain Bellil, David Pepin, and Stan.
Seriously?
So these 4 guys are probably going to run with the semifinals.
And what's the platform they use? What is it?
It's on Vassal.
Vassal, eh?
It's on Vassal, so it's a fun tournament because we cycle through all the battle packs in Mediterranean and Pacific. So every month you'll play, I think there's 2 months for Europe, 2 months for Med, and then 1 month for each battle pack, including
Les Folios there?
The small, the paratroopers, right? And Stalingrad, and...
what about Resistance?
Resistance, that's the one I was looking. Thanks for helping out.
Okay.
And then there's also 2 months dedicated, one on Pacific and one on the Guinea, Battle Pack 6.
Now, I know when Stan plays it like chess.
Oh yeah.
He's very, very serious.
Yeah.
And is that the atmosphere over there, or is it a little bit more playful?
Everybody,
you know what I mean?
So I think Stan's stance is that now he's the lead of the big summer in the U.S. the big summer tournament at what's his name?
GMT.
No. Why am I losing all my words now? So Stan organizes the WBC. Thank you, sir.
Really?
Yeah, Stan is now the formal organizer, and he started that like 2 years back or last year, if I'm not mistaken. He won last year organizing it. He felt bad about it.
He felt bad about it.
Stan's perspective is to win that one. For him, that's the utmost.
Well, he did,
and he did. And I don't think it's the first time he won. I think he won a few years back as well. David Poulain is probably his prime contestant every time. So,
another guy from here.
Another guy from here. Yeah. So it's been,
but I mean, you look. Combat Commander is a great game. I don't play many games. I'm a cheerleader, right? And Combat Commander seems to fit the bill for me. But how many times can you play it, man?
Like I said, so there's probably 120-ish scenarios out there, right?
Yeah, but I mean...
Published, plus the ones that are built, plus you have the Random Scenario Generator app that helps you build others that we are also working. I think the ladder is working towards using that at some point. Plus, every scenario you can play it 4, 10, 20 times, and the events and the narrative makes it so that you can actually never have the same outcome.
How many times have you played Fat Lipke?
I try to stick away from the core Europe just because at some point you get worn out. For instance, I probably last year I trained 6 new players, and you get worn out playing the scenario 1.
Well, yeah.
So somebody built on BGG. There's a training day 1 scenario that's out there, that's balanced. It's Americans against Germans, and it's around the bridge, and it's evenly set up, it's evenly balanced on the troops and the equipment, and it's a fun one. So it gave us an opportunity to bring in.
What map are we using?
It's the one with the bridge in the middle. Is it 5 or something?
Okay. So it's in the Europe.
Yeah, it's a Europe map. And then I used that one as, I think, the second round of last year's tournament. It was fun to bring it.
Now, Europe compared to the Pacific one. I know the Mediterranean one, There's North Africa and all that.
Pacific is less explored usually by players, so it brings a little bit flavor of that Pacific theater.
And is it well done?
It is very well done. It is very well done. But then, you know, some people will debate that the fact that you can break any gun, you have a control over which equipment you can actually break in the field.
How do you control that?
Actually, well, it's a card that triggers that, and you have so many points you can actually break things around. So that actually skews a little bit of the behavior of people, how they actually react to that, right? So some people don't like that, but it can actually happen to you where the guy will break your gun before you actually do something with it. It's like it gets broken. Yeah, that's a fun twist.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
Like, where does that come from?
I don't recall reading the description for this one. I don't know the rationale that was used by Chad to come up with that. You could have a conversation about that with Stan.
With Stan, eh?
Yeah. Stan is
I'm
passionate, passionate about that to some extent.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And look, I mean, last question, because I know you got games happening. Your favorite, if that's possible to say, not favorite, one of the ones you keep going back to. All the battle packs, Resistance, Europe.
Scenario-wise?
Yeah.
What's his name? The one with the track, scenario number 7 in Europe, where it's a recon from the Germans and the Russians are in the field there.
And it's both recon?
No, it's a defense recon, and the Russians are generated randomly on the map. You have to bring them back together and bring back some cohesion. I find this one really fun to play.
Generated randomly?
Yeah, so at the start of the game, you flip a card and you put your units
like
one after
two there
anywhere on the map.
Yeah, but how is that at any point realistic?
Well, this is an area where the Russians were there, like they didn't expect any visit, right? So they were going about their business, maybe gathering stuff, maybe collecting supply, or bringing stuff together, or maybe cooking pastas or having vodka. However you want to think about it, and then the Germans come in, right? So it's a recon from the Germans. And then the Russians realize that, ooh, crap, we have to get organized and manage this one out.
I forget, is the scale always the same on the maps?
I believe so.
Okay.
I don't think there's any scale change from because the troop size, the squads, the teams, and all the units are kind of normalized, right? So I don't think the scale could change from once in a while.
Yeah, I gotta play it more often. Carl just beats the crap out of me, man. And he talks too fast, and things are moving, and it's like the game's over. You lost.
Yeah, well, that's the one thing. One nice thing is that even when I play the tournament, I never throw the towel, even if everything looks gloomy, because things can arise. I mean, fire could spawn there, cut the map into, secure a very pricey objective, or play against you, right? So, but you never know what's going to happen.
And how often does that? Because it happened with me and Carl, actually. But how often does that happen? That turnaround, that completely turnaround.
Oh, the twist there. I would say a game out of 5, you will have a nice surprise. Maybe a game out of 5 or out of 6, there's something that may give you, at least, or if you're really, really having a bad time, that you may see the light turn back on at the end of the tunnel there, and then you try to reach for it, and then you fight against time or surrender level, right? So it's always that very, very, very tiny balance there.
I've got another question. I can't stop. When did you start playing war games, man?
War games?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a long one. I used to live in Montreal.
Right.
I used to run the newspaper runs.
Okay.
I would get this little pocket money. I would take my bike, go to Valetcar, which was the only.
So you live downtown?
I lived a little bit up north in Villers.
Okay.
I would drive or ride my bike there on Thursday night, just before dinner. I would shop for Livres dont vous êtes les héros, which are tiny books, storybooks.
Yeah, okay.
You roll the dice and you go to chapter.
Steve Jackson stuff.
Steve Jackson stuff. And then my eyes landed on. I remember the first game was Vietnam. The one that was
Victory Games.
No, the Vietnam. Yeah, the Vietnam 1969, 1975.
Is that Mark Herman's company?
The one that was. the one that was re-edited last year, right? And I said, oh, I took the box, I looked behind, and I got like all excited. And I said, but who am I going to play that with? And that was probably 85-ish.
Wow.
So then I said, all right, but I look at the price, I couldn't pay that. It was too expensive to invest into that.
What was it,
and then
$12?
I chat with the guy that used to own the shop there at the time.
The Asian guy?
Yeah, yeah.
He's not there anymore?
He's not there anymore. No, they actually sold about 10, 12 years back. They sold.
Oh, wow.
He retired,
okay.
I think.
Okay.
He still hangs around in Montreal. Some people run into him still. So he said, well, I've got an offer. So I bought Squad Leader Demo, the old Squad Leader Demo. And I flip-flopped for 5 years. I flip-flopped through the page trying to move pieces by myself and everything. And then I shelved that until one day, as I discovered Euro games and all these things, and working for Philo as an animator.
Oh, you work at Philo?
No, I work with Sophie as an animator because she was from Saint-Lazare. I was from Saint-Lazare. At some point, she found me on BGG. She said, "Hey, you want to play Catan one day?" And because she was editing Catan in French.
Okay, okay.
And then I said, "Catan," you know, for me it was like, I'd play with you, but maybe not Catan. So I organized a game night because she was editing, I think Notre Dame from Stephen Feld and other, I think Pillars of the Earth, which is the book
Rosenberg? Uwe?
I don't know who did that one. It's so long ago. So she came to my place and we played Caelus instead. At the time, Caelus, it's a Euro game. Mm-hmm. And we chit-chat, and she said, I'll invite you and we'll do some other games and stuff like that. And when I went to her place, she had Dominant Species on her shelf. And I looked at the game, I said, oh, this looks cool, right? The box, the original box, back in 2008, I said, this looks like a cool game. She says, it's very complicated.
It's that old, that game? It's that old?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And she said, I said, why do you have that there? A GMT game, that's a wargame company, right?
What's
she
that?
says, well, I'm translating it in French. And Philo made the French edition.
Sophie
from Philosophia.
I actually spoke to her once.
Yeah, so they made the French edition of Dominant Species. So that's how I got to know that. And I said, I'd love to learn that game. She says, well, there's a guy in Montreal that organizes war game stuff, and from GMT, they play all these games. His name is Marc Guenet. And the rest is history. So 2010, 2011, I found friends to play war games. And so my projection of the old squad leader, to play war games, X encounters, was my entry point was Squad Combat Commander. And that led me to that. And then later on, you know.
Now, you're saying too many things. I have questions.
I got one too. There's a guy, I think he showed up at WBC with a tuned deck for combat.
Oh yeah, that's
run into him?
that's a very well-known story. That post on BGG where the guy says, "Hey, how come you have so many time triggers in this deck?" And he said, "Well, I have all these 12s. Well, the rules doesn't say that I cannot take cards from multiple decks and build my deck." And then he beat that up in a tournament. And I said, well, it's not because it's not written in the rules you can't do that. You're allowed to do that. So the guy is a famous. Well, I don't know the guy, but certainly that was a fun one that's brought up.
You mentioned dominant species, and I interviewed Kai a few times, and she actually, I never played that game. And dominant species, Chad Jensen.
Yeah.
Do you see Chad Jensen in that game?
I see is brilliant game design from that. I don't see. I don't know. I mean, I've got in my top 5. He's got 2 games, and Dominant Species is one, Combat Commander is the other one. So, you know, not necessarily seeing him in both games as his presence, but certainly the brilliance of the game design and the game structure shines in those 2. And more recently, Downfall. Even though John Butterfield probably made his own adaptation of it, not having the rules in mind, but reverse engineering the game, you could see that there's quite a bit of, you know, uniqueness into his game designs.
And I saw the game over here. Who's playing that? Who's playing Downfall? Or will
I don't know. It's there.
Okay.
I don't know.
Scott Jack is setting it up.
Okay.
I think Scott and Don McIntosh, Brian Jarvis.
Isn't that like a mini monster?
Not really. It's like
No.
1 or 2 maps. It's not It doesn't have very many counters.
Oh, okay. So I'm wrong. Dominant species. Is it difficult to learn, and is it long?
No, it's not difficult to learn. It's long. It's proportional to the number of player. Because it's a hex starting point, I recommend you play 3. So, because it's balance, 4, 2, 2, and 2 holes in the same side, or 6, right? And obviously the game duration will be proportional. If you play the dominant species Marine, it's limited to 4.
No, I haven't played.
It's a good compromise as well. So it plays faster because it's only 4 players. But the game duration is proportional to the number of players usually.
I see. Okay, and
But not difficult to learn.
Kai sent me the Korean one. You know, I have the Korean version of the game. Do you know any Korean people?
No.
Okay,
I love
Dom.
kimchi though.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Go play the game. Go play the game.
All right.
Ben Harsh of Harsh Rules, one video in his Parts 22 rules breakdown of Advanced Squad Leader Starter Kit series. And they talk about SWs versus AFVs. Heavy cardboards, been a while. Cuba Libre, 4-person teach playthrough and roundtable discussion by Heavy Cardboard. You know, I should watch this, but how can I, being this scatterbrained? You know, for me, it's a little bit too long. I have to watch it in pieces. On Heavy Cardboard. Hex to Hex, contemplation for future operations. Maybe they're asking for ideas, suggestions, stuff. Because he looks like he's got a game of combat happening here. Hex to Hex, ladies and gentlemen. Hex Encounter 2 videos, Champions of the Galaxy, Filsinger Games, an introduction and gameplay, plus Storm of Steel, gameplay part 2. The Eastern Front. This is a Compass Games game, and I forgot who it's designed by. But I tried to get in touch with Compass Games. I think I'm persona non grata at Compass Games. I don't know what I did. Must be my good looks. Hexes and Soldiers, 2 videos, Epic Talavera, plus Corsican Ogre Rules Deep End of the Pool discussion on Hexes and Soldiers. Historical Conflict Channel has 3 videos. One is Rostov 41, Fritz on the News scenario, plus OCS Operation Matters Magazine, Volume 2, Luzon, and Old School Tactical Volume 1, 2nd edition, Overview, a game by Flying Pig Games. Respect! Jim Ozarski of Jim Ozarski Videos has 4 videos, flanking Saint-Germain-de-Père for Chain of Command, then the Battle of Egmul for Général d'Armée, plus Gridmark Future, the 2nd Battle for Armageddon campaign. I thought it was Armageddon, but it's Armageddon. And then West of Pierrecourt for Ein Big Shot, Mom, on Jim Ozarski's channel. Juste Garde has for us the Battle of Quebec, French and Indian war battles. Eek! You know, they did have problems, these belligerents, the French and the Indians. KilRoyWasHere, ladies and gentlemen, stop everything you're doing. Listen to this, because he's going to email me and he's going to give me grief. He knows how to give me grief. The guy's a lawyer. Yeah? Anyways, 8 videos. Beauty and the Beast Middle School Musical. What's the matter with you, Kilroy? What's the matter with you? Hey, I was taking it easy, you know. I know you're going off the deep end here, but Disney's Beauty and the Beast, I disagree. Plus, Limits of Glory, Bonaparte's Eastern Empire, Form Square Games. We're back on track. And General Orders, World War II by Osprey Games, and unboxing. Then Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturday, Mindbug, First Contact, plus New Servants. He's falling off the edge a bit. And now he fell off because he's going to Underwater Cities, an RGG game. Isn't it RPG? But I know he's trying to say Rio Grande Games, but you could confuse people like that. You, being a lawyer, know the importance of clarification, of being exact in your words. One spelled wrong word, and you're screwed in your field. Plus, Coffee with Kilroy, my favorite segment. 2 videos of Men of War, Central America, and D6 Solitaire war game. I'm wrong. He plays Delta 6 Patrol by D6, and then he plays Men of War by Central America. You see? You got me all flustered with this lawyer stuff. Plus, Albuera, 16 of May 1888. An unbagging on KilRoyWasHere. Math, fun, and games. Yeah, you don't sell it too much. That's because as soon as you say math, it's like, math and fun together. But I know that when you get to a certain level in math, which I never got and I never will, you can start having fun. It becomes artistic, just like music. But you can say, but music is artistic. Not in the beginning when you're learning your stuff. And there's nothing artistic about that. Huh? Anyways, 3 videos, all of them on Panzerleader, Situation number 10, Turn 2 and 3, 4, and 5. Alrighty? Panzerleader, Situation number 10 on Math, Fun, and Games. My Own Worst Enemy, 2 videos, Rebel Fury, Battle of Chickamauga, a gameplay, Turn 1, Part 1, and then Across the Pacific, an unboxing by, Satch. I don't know that game. Doesn't look new to me. Alright. Hey, if you want to know about your Plain Encyclopedia stuff, check out Plain Encyclopedia, 2 videos, Triangle of Terror, Lippish, P13A, and Willie the Whale, F3D Sky Knight. See, I know about Willie the Whale, but the other Lippish, and why do I want to go on a plane called Lippish? I'd rather go on a plane called Willie the Whale. Anyways, on Plain Encyclopedia. Prasuta Gusti, Orwell Wargamer, 3 videos, Nothing Left to Bomb, The Skies Over Malta, 1940 to 42 by Snafu Games. Then he tells us a hobby and painting desk update, plus Berestechko, 1651. I hope I said it right, by Snafu Design. It's a pocket battle, and it's a review. The Orwell Wargamer. Check it out. The Board Game Chronicles, 2 videos, Rebel Fury, Battles of the American Civil War, Chattanooga, November 1863, excuse me. And then a first look at Sparta, Struggle for Greece. I'm sure George Chiotis is glued on that. Cody of the Discriminating Gamer has 4 videos, and it's Cody's top 10 games he hasn't reviewed. Look at that. And also, Wormspan. And Dutch Resistance, Orange Shall Overcome. Plus, Fortune and Glory, the Cliffhanger games. All of this on The Discriminating Gamer. The Gentleman of the Player's Aid interview Blue Panthers, Steve Jones. Check it out, nice guy. They also review Baptism by Fire, an MMP game, and for fun games, Monthly Debrief. Season 4, Episode 4, April 2024. For fun, eh? For fun. Also, an interview with John Lapham, A More Perfect Union. All of this on the Player's Aid. GIMPY of the GIMPY Gamer Blood Bowl 3 review, plus The Fate of All, Example of Play, Part 1. U-Boater 658. I'm a little late with this. I had lost it in my subscriptions. DG War in Europe. Case White. Turn 1. Air Superiority. U-Boater 658. For our Italian listeners, Winter Quartering Plantagenet GMT playthrough. Obviously in Italian. My Kingdom for a Horse on Winter Quartering. And for our Polish viewers, Michel of Wojennik TV takes a look at Dale of Merchants collection plus Bonaparte's Eastern Empire and a review of Point City.
Howdy folks, Meandering Mike, Man Cave of Madness, weekly channel update. Semi-busy week, but we'll try to keep this video short. Last week's channel update, 3 new unboxings of Charles S. Roberts nominees for Game of the Year. My video on the final Game of the Year category as a whole, and some talk about voting, encouraging people to vote. I got it out before the votes closed, and hopefully maybe I encouraged some people to get their votes in. Took a little break, and then showed up the title that I've been waiting for. That's why I didn't finish the gunpowder through industrial era category, so I unboxed that one now. So going forward, we'll try to do 2 unboxings a week related to Charles S. Roberts Awards Game of the Year titles that I haven't finished yet, and that industrial gunpowder category. Once those are done, I'll just go back to doing 1 game of any uncovered CSR nominee. Once the winners are announced, I'll make sure I focus on getting all the winners covered if I haven't already covered them. One other item of business for my channel, there was a poll. You guys selected which I'm going to play next. It had been a tie for a long time between In Magnificent Style and Wizard Kings. Wizard Kings squeaked out, so that'll be played next. And I will probably do In Magnificent Style in July, of course, because that's about Gettysburg. So that is it for the week, folks. I'm going to send it back to all you people watching Dan Bencolli's No Enemies Here. If you're watching this directly on my channel, thank you for viewing. Much appreciated if you're a subscriber, like, comment, all that great stuff. So remember, take care of your games, and they will take care of you. Ciao all.
Another week, another show, and that's the way the wind blows. You know what I'm saying? What can I tell you? Thank you very much for liking this. Please like, subscribe, and support this channel. It goes a long way. And, you know, like I said, I do this linearly. Now, I'm burnt. That's the way it is. That's what happens. But I did my show, and I'm going to be uploading it. So, don't forget, check out for Cactus Air Force from 6 Actual. And go mushroom hunting, man. Look how much fun I'm having. Now I'm going to go do some. You know what I'm saying? Eat some. Strange choice of words. Have a good weekend. Be nice. See you next week.